pull from each other, pull energy from one another. And we create a relentless body of energies. This pass is like the arrow of intent, the arrow of intent. Very precise. The more precise, the more it penetrates. So see if you can have your sitting bones nicely there for you, so you can inhale, exhale. So inhale, hold it, exhale softly, and then forcefully. And down. A lot of abdominal work. The sitting bones give you the rolling, and then the muscles deep here give you the stability. Inhale, exhale. With your eyes, peripheral view, and then into the tip of the arrow, straight ahead. Razor edge intent. One more. That's a whole set. And here we have a mini set we add, a mini set, 2 movements. Here we go a little bit standing, okay? Super low, almost sitting, but we're actually standing. We come directly into, so the slow-mo is we come around, grab energy at the edge of the rib cage, and then pull it like a rope. But we're gonna just do that rhythm, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sit for a second. This is our reset. You know, when if you see in the Olympics, when they will run the 100-meter race, you know, the athletes don't breathe for the entirety of the race. They gather their oxygen and their strength, their intention, they go. So in a way, for us, in this moment, the breath is when we sit down. And then we'll do a set of 10 as if we were running the race, okay? Let's see if we can do that. All right, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sit. Breathe. Rest. So a little elevation, okay? We are standing, but almost sitting. One more set. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sit. That was number 9, 7, 9, 9, 9. Sorry, number 9 in our 18 sequence. We do number 10. The slow motion, same way. Grab energy, pull the rope, anchor the elbows, and then stretch the rope out all the way. Anchor the fists, and then extend yourself. So, inhale. Off the chair, almost sitting. Inhale. Exhale. Lean forward onto the front foot. Extend the back leg as you open at the end. Okay? And then sit. One more. Switch legs. And one more. Check in with yourself. I think we have it. I think we got enough mass, enough energy redeployed that we are not so solid here. We are kind of everywhere. So bring your notebooks, come closer. Now we can understand one another in a different way. Here's a quote. To resolve the conflict of the two minds is a matter of intending it. Let me just say it again. Listen to it from your 5 points. Locate yourself in all 5 areas. To resolve the conflict of the two minds is a matter of intending, he said. Sorcerers beckon intent by voicing the word intent loud and clear. Intent is a force that exists in the universe. And when sorcerers beckon intent, it comes to them. And then it sets up a path of attainment, which means that sorcerers always accomplish what they set out to do. Do you mean, Don Juan, that sorcerers get anything they want, even if it's something petty and arbitrary? No, I didn't mean that. Intent can be called, of course, for anything. But sorcerers have found out the hard way that intent comes to them only for something that is abstract. That's the safety valve. Otherwise, they would be unbearable. In your case, beckon intent to resolve the conflict of the two minds, or to hear the voice of your true mind, is not a petty or arbitrary matter. Quite the contrary, it is ethereal and abstract, and yet as vital for you as anything can be. So, first conclusion from this quote ought to be that more than techniques and sets of action, or let's say inclusive of them, there's something that surrounds the whole edifice, which is intent. And that's why I was making such a point, and when we're doing the movements just now, that we are making sure that we're not just doing empty dances in front of the mirror, but that we are exercising our intent. Intent has to be exercised, has to be engaged in the doing. It becomes apparent. The other thing that we can draw conclusion from this quote And you tell me if you have additional conclusions. But another thing that stands out for me is that, there's a two-way process. So on the one hand, I'm engaging myself in this act of recognizing when I'm not in my true mind and relentlessly not accepting that, let's say, right? Pushing that other pattern of thought away to clear the place for my true mind, right? The second element is that I'm going to actively seek to listen, to hear my true mind, the voice of my true mind. So I'm pushing and my antenna is getting more keen in listening to the other voice, because the voice of the true mind or the voice of the inner seer often is subtle. It's not like it doesn't come with bangs and say, hey, look at me, listen to me. Sometimes it does in life, but most of the times it's subtle. So if we don't like, what did you say? If we don't pause and really like keenly put energy in detecting and discerning it from the background noise, then it will escape us. So keep that in mind. And look at these eyes, okay? Look at these eyes. Here's another component that is useful for us. What is that death's hidden option, is the quote, that is picked up only by sorcerers, Don Juan, I asked. For a sorcerer, death is a unifying factor. Instead of disintegrating the organism, as in ordinary the case, death unifies it. How can death unify anything? I protested. Death for a sorcerer, he said, terminates the reign of individual moods in the body. It terminates the reign of individual moods. The sorcerers of old times believed it was the dominion of the different parts of the body that ruled the moods and the actions of the total body. Parts that become dysfunctional drag the rest of the body to chaos, such as, for instance, when you yourself got sick from eating junk. In that case, the mood of your stomach affects everything else. Death eradicates the dominion of those individual parts. It unifies their awareness into one single unit. Now, the proposition of the Nahual is we don't need to wait till death to unify the body. It happens by itself when we die, but unfortunately, it happens and then we're gone. We don't have time to savor it. So can we do it earlier? Can we do it now? Can we already be doing it? We have already been doing it since the start of this class today. We've been unifying the moods, making the 5-point connection, getting the focal point away from the head into a different distribution so that all the parts have voices. And that is enormously helpful to dethrone the other mind. Because if we are always inhabiting the domain of the other mind, then it's easier for it to take over. But if we have many other voices playing out and we are distributed, then we have multiple resources